Hello, I'm Bedrock, and have you ever spent 22 hours working on something just to realize it was pretty much entirely pointless? Because I have personally done this very recently. In fact, I traveled 1,000,000 blocks in Minecraft just to turn around and immediately go back home. This sounds absurd, and that sounds like a long amount of time to do it, but this was 100% vanilla, legit survival, and let's just say there were some mishaps along the way that made it take a little bit longer than it probably should have. So I record the entire thing, and you can watch all 22 hours in various videos and live streams, but I figured rather, for those of you who don't want to spend 22 hours, maybe I could recap and show you some of the best moments in today's little storytime video. So hopefully you do enjoy this. You can like it if you do like it, but let's dive straight into it. Because first of all, when I decided I was going to walk 1,000,000 blocks, I decided I needed to prepare for this. I needed to get some beef. I needed to get some, just basic materials, shulker boxes, etc. So I needed to get a lot of stuff so I could carry it around with me, kind of like a packed donkey. So at that point, I had got myself a lot of different stuff. But I'm just going to breathe this area until it's absolutely filled with cows to the brim. We're going to use some glass to make ourselves some glass bottles, then use the glass bottles to obviously make some speed potions. If we use a shulker box for every major category, we're going to need multiple shulker boxes. I just got to keep placing like this, and then we'll see where we go. You always forget till you're actually here fighting the shulkers, but shulkers are one of the most annoying mobs to fight in Minecraft sometimes. I need to enchant 14 pickaxes. We only want unbreaking pickaxes, so we're going to have like 2 of these dedicated just to potions. Then we need to have a pickaxe chest, and then a couple of netherrack ones, and then whatever else we need to grab. Let's now cook all of this beef. This single box by itself gives us close to 4 hours worth of speed potions. We've got ourselves 8 stacks of beef. We'll have some blocks we can place every now and then, some stone bricks, so we can have a clear pathway that shows I've been here. And then on top of that, we can store some miscellaneous stuff. So the IF enders, these are going to be crucial for getting me out of the end. Again, you'll see why at the end of that. Just the preparations alone, this has been just under 3 hours just to prep for a big stream like this. So at this point, I'd got myself a lot of different shulker boxes. You can see just how many we've got lying around, and I had each one assigned for a specific purpose, and I put a lot of my valuables in there. I had a bunch of enchanted pickaxes in a chest. I had a bunch of potions, a bunch of just things I cared about and valued, because I assumed, okay, this is going to be the run. I need to be focused. I need to not die for various different reasons, because it'll be so far away, so it's fine to bring everything along with me. So I decided to embark upon the long journey of 125,000 nether blocks, because that's the equivalent of 1,000,000 blocks in the overworld. And at first, I started with very high spirits. Hello, I'm Bedrock, and welcome back. It's another live stream on the internet. Today is going to be, I believe, my longest live stream I've ever done by quite a long way, because it's something I've always wanted to do one of these ultra long live streams, but I've never had the right opportunity. And rather than just being like, it's December the 8th, that's a good enough opportunity, I figured what I instead would do is, wait till I had something that needed so much time. And today, I decided, let's try and walk 1,000,000 blocks, or rather, let's travel 1,000,000 blocks, because we're walking 125,000 blocks. Because today we've got a bunch of shulker boxes all filled with supplies. We've got potions of swiftness in one, we've got cooked beef in another, we've got stone bricks in another, we've got like loads of spare spaces as well as stone pickaxe. I've got so many different tools with me because today we're going on a long walk. There's a lot of things I haven't even fully considered. I was speaking to Jura about this yesterday, and he was like, oh, so do you have food? And I was like, I did not have food prepared. Do you have like drinks? I was like, I didn't. And every answer was like, good thing I spoke about this at some point before doing this. I'm traveling 1,000,000 blocks, but I'm walking 125,000 blocks. Just so we're all clear. But yeah, by the way, this is 0-0. I have now gone from 0-0, and by the end of today's stream, or assuming I don't die, I'll be at 1,000,000 blocks in one of the directions. 1,000,000 blocks. That is 1/12 of the way to the very end of the Minecraft, world. That is like as far as Minecraft Bedrock goes. We'll start actually with a leisurely pace. I'm excited. So yeah, we only need to walk 125,000 blocks. So now I've walked 0.1% of the way. Or actually, wait. Right now, once I reach 250, it'll be 0.2%. And you can see how, like, oh yeah, this kind of gets done. So, again, you gotta look at my Z coordinate. I've now officially walked... Wait for it. Oh, 0.2% has happened. I have Bean Boozled. These are the worst things, by the way. If you've never tried them, like, the good ones are okay, and the bad ones make you want to die. The promise is, for $10, I will eat one. Just to mix things up along the way.
Oh, yes.
Honestly, I am super curious as to, like, all of this. Can it be done? Is it possible? Like, are we trapped there once we do it? And I don't honestly know the answer to most of those questions, so I'm just gonna keep rolling with it, I guess. But I soon realized that instead of taking 5, 6, maybe 8 hours, it was going to take a lot longer because I had, failed to account for just how long it can take to mine sometimes, particularly when you run across lava. The time I was looking at was going up and up every single estimation. It was going to take upwards of 12 hours at one point, and it was a race just to get the stream done before that day ended because, again, walking this distance and making a bridge was going to be a really tricky thing to do. Hey, 25,000, 20% of the way. And that's taken 2.5 hours, but the first, 5 minutes weren't that. So if you multiply that by 5, you get 10, 12.5 hours. So yeah, we have to really, really be watching out for time to get it under the 12-hour limit. We did it. We're going to 30% of the way there. Woo! So yeah, we began just under 6 hours, Rail King. My life force has just started to drain. And in case you're curious, by the way, the whole reason I did decide to do... We'll go to sleep. We'll do this in the morning. And in case you're curious about why I would do something so absurd and why I was doing it the mining method, this is because I wanted to have a repeatably usable pathway from, 0 to 125,000. So if I wanted to, I could regularly go 1,000,000 blocks. I was going to be making something a bit easier for future me to turn into a tunnel, to turn into a horse track, to doing something like that. And yeah, that was the whole goal. But we soon had to realize that if we wanted to get that serious distance done, get to the 1,000,000 mark to show that I could, in fact, walk 1,000,000 blocks to do something that very few people have done in a legit vanilla survival, especially on Bedrock, that I was going to have to, involve a little bit of flying. So we started our spirits going really, really high. So I could repair the Elytra a little bit, but it's definitely worth waiting for a second instead of phantoms to spawn. So where are the phantoms? Why are there none of them? Where are the phantoms? One sec, what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly back out. I'm going to copy the world real quick. Look at this. It's frozen. This is an Xbox One X. This is the most powerful, console that exists right now. I say that a lot, but it's true. The game is just so slow to load up anything at this point. Minecraft crashed, and I can't get it to uncrash.
3 hours later.
Oh, thank you for the super chat. I'm in the bathroom. I'll get to it in a minute.
6.5 hours later.
Hey! Something happened!
1 eternity later.
Ah, we're back! We're in business! Woo! Hey, we're back! Oh, and there's... Yay! Phantom... Okay, it took me so long. We're gonna have to race to make this on time again. But it's Oh, I missed the Phantom. It's happening, fellas. It's happening. Okay, so we're gonna repair the Elytra first of all. We probably will need to do this again later. Actually, we won't be able to. This is gonna be my last Elytra usage. Okay, let's go. Should we just start flying again? Let's just start flying. Let's just get a good speed boost going. Okay, look at this speed. We are going places. This is happening now. And we spent hours working on this technique. We spent hours really making up the distance that we'd lost in the past 4. And yeah, it looked like, the stream would be done in something like 11 hours or maybe even less than that, which, was a huge win given just how bad things would look in the beginning. We were getting faster and faster. The estimate time for completion was going down. At one point, it was as close to like 10 hours. But then, we started getting ahead of ourselves. We were starting to get really confident. And, the amount of fatigue that builds up over, 8 hours of consistent talking was starting to wear thin. So there was a few mistakes that kept on being made. Oh god, what have I done? Okay, I'm just gonna fly away from this problem. Sometimes you just gotta accept, okay, I've made mistakes. But mistakes are okay sometimes. So I'm gonna drink the speed 2 potion now. Okay, this is where we start making up the time. Okay, so one of my favorite things is speed 2 mining. When this goes off correctly, this is amazing. I think we can even go faster than lava, faster than lava, faster than lava. Look at this insanity. I swear we won't be affected. Okay, no, I will be affected by lava. I will be affected by lava. I am definitely affected by lava. Okay, we've now learned. But I had preparations to make even those mistakes not be too bad, and I was, pretty ahead of myself. I knew that I could survive pretty much everything as long as I kept track of my status every few minutes or so. But that was until 2 very poorly, timed super chats within quick succession of one another. One was asking me why I didn't just repair my Elytra, because it was getting lower and lower in durability, and the second one asked me, about socialism. And let's just say, this is where my entire weekend took a downturn. We ready for this? Fix the Elytra, you'll give me anxiety. It can't be repaired again. So I could prove this. Okay, let's check just to make sure. Okay, so I'm gonna just check real quick for you. Yeah, it's too expensive. This Elytra cannot be repaired. So we'll put that back. We'll put that back. So we've got 4 more pickaxes now. Socialism is evil. I mean, like communism, and it's a spectrum, right? It's like saying, I think the thing you're arguing against is evil, but that thing might not be the same thing. You know, like, okay, whatever. I think we got political, by the way. Nice. The problem is that every government in the world is some balance between capitalism and socialism / communism. I would say socialism and communism aren't the same thing or even similar things, but let's just say they are. Oh no, no! I didn't put it back on! No! I didn't put it back on! So, who wants to go on the 11-hour reclamation tour? It was that damn politics, man. Needless to say, I was devastated. If you want to watch, 20 minutes it took at being sad and realizing that I'm 8 hours away from my stuff and like everything I'd done that day had just been wiped down in an instant. In fact, more than wiped out because I had to go and collect the stuff. It was a pretty, tragic thing. You can go check it out. And I was, the opposite of high spirits, low spirits, if you will. And then I realized the only way I'm going to be able to have even a chance of this is to get myself a mending elytra. I needed an elytra of mending if I was going to stand a chance of getting my stuff back, and I needed to fly, so I needed a lot of fireworks. So that's what I set out to do. I set out to fish for the mending book. The good news is, while I'm in the overworld and over here, it won't despawn. But there's a lot of valuable stuff there. But it's 10 hours away. Okay, so I've got three options, chat. I've got three options. Let's be reasonable about this. There's three easy options. One is to go back to my old save. That's at 40,000 blocks. I'll lose 50,000 progress. I'll have to do this again next weekend. 2 weekends. I'll have to do this again sometime next week. Option 2 is to, live my normal life here. There are other big projects I'm working on. I can make more pickaxes. I have some, if you look around here. So I can get myself a bunch of stone, and I can get myself over there. I can get elytras. I can get unbreaking. Yeah, if I get a mending elytra, I could do it in 2.5 hours. I'm not gonna cheat. Cheating is not an option. The third option is to just ignore it. The third option is just that stuff is gone and it's never coming back. So yeah, it's one, 2, or 3. Chat. I'll be honest, this isn't a vote. I'm gonna ignore. I'm taking your opinion as advisory. Everyone's liking 2. Everyone's liking 2. You can only get mending from fishing or... Oh, good God. So, who wants to watch 158 minutes or something of mending elytra? Yeah, no, we have to do a long fishing stream or a long village breeding stream. I think fishing maybe is a better idea. And I figured, okay, I'll stream for an hour and a half maybe, and then eventually a book should show up. But I streamed for 4 hours and no book showed up. We can believe. Because I want to get this book. I figured 100 minutes would be enough. I figured just this would happen, but it doesn't. And then I figured, okay, we'll stream the next day. We got really unlucky yesterday. We'll stream again, and you know what happened that time? So let's not listen to that ever again. No book. I streamed for another 4 whole hours, deep into the morning of when I should have been sleeping, but I was like, I'm not gonna stop fishing until I get this book. Until about 4.5 hours in, I broke and decided, okay, we can't get the book. It's just not doable in this way. We can't fish for the book anymore. We're gonna have to try and find a village out there somewhere that will trade it. But then what happened on the very last book of the day, when I'd already decided I'm stopping fishing now, I'm just gonna check the last books that we fished up, this happened. So it's a 1 in 83 chance. We've got 3 chances. I need a mending in the chat. You need to tell me mending. M-E-N-D-I-N-G. Book number 1. Is it mending? It's infinity and channeling. It's not bad, but I'll accept it. Book number 2. Is it mending? Depiction and luck of the sea. It's not mending. Book number 3. I don't know if I want to check it. I don't know. Like, I feel like I could believe that I had mending till tomorrow. Ah! Woo! Woo! Yeah! It's done. It's done. We did it. What are the odds on the very last book of the stream? This meant that once I got some fireworks and once I put Unbreaking on there, I could officially try and get the stuff back. And that's when the gauntlet was on. I needed to fly back my stuff, and I figured rather than just flying back my stuff and, you know, calling that a day, I figured why not try and complete the million block travel challenge regardless. So that's what we set out to do. So I think I'm ready to start the journey, and I'm just ready to do this. You know what? Let's go. So we're going to start with a run, because I'm not sure how long my fireworks will last. Although, actually, you know, just because I have the fireworks, let's do it anyway. Just to show you the speed we can go instead. Because the beautiful thing about Minecraft Bedrock is if you don't have chunks loaded in, then what will actually happen is the stuff in that chunk can't start to despawn. So despite this being days after at this point, I was on a journey to get to my stuff before it despawned, to fly in as fast as I could, and to pick that stuff up. And let's just say... Oh, here's my big pathway I was following. It's now on the screen. The timer has started some amount of time ago. Here's where I lost the stuff. Hey, it's there! It's lying around everywhere. It's all over the ground. It's a mess. But it's here. Most of it is here too. Only a little bit went into the lava. So we need to be very, very, very quick on all of this. So shulker box. That's going to be the first thing to pick up. Pick up some stuff. Throw it in a chest. Just dump everything we can in there. We can deal with the effects of this later. We just picked up the vast majority of what we lost. Everyone was scared. Even, like, stuff landed on magma, but magma's not lava. I think we didn't lose the vast majority. And we're going to make a little sign, just to commemorate this moment. So, RIP 9 hours. And then next line, off work. There we go. Okay, that's perfect. That's a memorial. And once that happened, I was only 30,000 blocks away from getting to the end, to getting from 125,000 blocks, which would make 1,000,000 blocks in the overworld. And there were a lot of really close calls during this time. Also, less than 5,000 blocks to go. But what if we fall in the lava? Oh no! Things got really dangerous in quite a few situations, but the good news, 450 blocks away. 400 blocks away. 300 blocks away. 180 blocks to go. Okay, we're 150 blocks to go. We've almost done it. All these hours. The 9 hours from last time, plus the 4 from this one, plus the 8 in between to rescue my stuff. 21 hours is about to culminate in an absolutely beautiful, beautiful ending to this stream. 100 blocks to go. 75 blocks to go. Oh, 50 blocks to go. Okay, we got an open stretch now. And just like this... We're not actually quite there. Okay, and that gas is going to make my life hell. We've done it! 125,000 blocks. IBX Toy Cat is yes. Then you want to have the 2 spaces. Oh wait, no, full stop. 2 spaces, 2 exclamation marks. There we go. That's the sign you want in your Minecraft world. Let's go to 1,000,000. Oh, guess the biome. Guess the biome. Quickly. Guess it right now. It is a mesa. Oh, how perfect. 81, 70, 1,000,000 blocks. Look at all those zeros. Honestly, there's just so many zeros, you just can't probably count them, right? Like, is that 100,000? Are you at 10 million? Where are you at? I don't know, but we did it. We made it to 1,000,000 blocks in Minecraft, in survival, on the Bedrock version, in one session, although arguably that was too... It was one session to get the thing, but... Oh my gosh. So, I had done it. I had traveled 1,000,000 blocks in Minecraft. That's right, the goal had happened. But now, there was a whole new tragedy about to unfold, which was, okay, so my entire plan this whole point was to find a village, then use that village as a way to get back to the overworld. Easy stuff. However, my plan at this point was to go back to the overworld by finding a stronghold. I brought a bunch of IF enders, and then to use that stronghold to go to the end and use the end to go back to my bed, which was all the way here, you know, close to Y00. However, a little bit of an issue happened when the nearest stronghold was 70,000 blocks away. Is it really 70,000 blocks? So we'll do a little bit of flying via the overworld, and then we might switch to the nether. Okay, we got a long way to go. I'm not sure how and why that happens, why the generation makes the strongholds so sparse, but the closest one was 70,000 blocks. Even in the Nether, that took an extra 8,000 blocks of travel and a lot of, near close death situations. But eventually, we traveled to the correct coordinates where the stronghold should have been. We got there, but then something bad happened. Okay, we're at 1,047 blocks. The world doesn't make too much sense. But according to my IF enders, so the exact strong... Okay, I want to follow this. Is it flying right here? Yeah, down. We want to go down. I don't know why. They glitched through the ground somehow. How do I get them back? This is my favorite source of light. The world gets more and more unstable the more you leave. And I think this video is more proof than you'll ever need of that. So yeah, there's no stronghold. This is when I realized that even though I had all of my stuff back, even though I traveled the 1,000,000 blocks, my technique was not going to work. For some reason, be it this world, be it just a Minecraft Bedrock generation, that's something we're going to dive into and work out, we could not go back to the other world via the stronghold, via the end, which meant that we had to accept something a little bit grisly. We were going to have to travel back 1,000,000 blocks in the other world, or the second option, which we decided on, was I was going to die. I was going to lose all of my XP and all of my stuff, except at the end, a little bit of a strategy came in. I could dig around a whole bunch more, but rather than degrading ourselves, we're going to kill ourselves. Well, I guess that's actually a pretty easy way to degrade yourself. Okay, first step, we're going to make a nice little tower. We made it to 1,000,000 blocks, might as well celebrate, right? Yeah, that's the plan. I'm going to put everything in a shulker box, then put the shulker box in the ender chest. And then I'm covered. Everything's sorted. Maybe, potentially. So by putting all of the stuff in ender chests, I could keep all of my stuff, all of those shulker boxes filled with valuables, and even some netherrack if you count that as being valuable too, while also going back to the other world myself. So this is what I decided to do. The only matter left to decide was how to die, and I decided, rather than, like picking it that way, I would just see in which way the game killed me first, and that's when some phantoms, knocked me off a ledge while I was building a monument, and that is when I died, traveling 1,000,000 blocks, and then instantly, with my death, traveling 1,000,000 blocks back, and that is the story of the time I traveled 1,000,000 blocks in Minecraft. It was a disaster on so many levels. The fact that it took 22 hours to do something that I know if you run on top of the Nether, if you glitch the game that way, or if you, there are different ways to do this faster, and there are different ways to do this more successfully, but the fact that we managed to do it in legitimate survival, all in one session that second time, is something that very few Minecraft players have matched. Again, if you play on a server, on the Java edition, I know this is something that does happen on a somewhat regular basis. If you play, in various different situations, if you hack and use coordinates, it's a very common thing to go to 1,000,000 blocks, but to go to 1,000,000 blocks in a legitimate survival world on the Bedrock version of the game, it's just not something that's done all the time. But I'm back here now, I've got all my stuff back, and just a fun little fact, we have the Unbreaking Mending Elytra. So we're better off than we were before. We've experienced some things. I've seen so much of the world, seen so much of how even a legit survival world can break, and that is the story of how I went 1,000,000 blocks in Minecraft survival. Also, just as an interesting aside here, is that the Let's Play world is now 573 megabytes. That's very large for a Minecraft file size, again, for a solo world, just because of the amount I've traveled, the amount of chunks I've loaded in the Nether, which means that, theoretically speaking, if they update the Nether generation, which at some point in the future they will, I'm going to have 1,000,000 blocks of just unbroken current Nether, which will be a really strange thing. But yeah, because of that, I have a huge world, and it makes moving it around or copying it a really hard task. Even makes loading into the game, a task which takes quite some time. So fun fact, if you've ever wondered why my Let's Play world is so huge, it's because of that one time I decided I wanted to walk 1,000,000,000 blocks just to prove that you can walk 1,000,000,000 blocks in Minecraft. But anyway, with that said, I hope you did all enjoy this video. I hope you learned something from it, or maybe just enjoyed my plight, my struggle to do something that is, again, a somewhat basic sounding task, but is a lot harder on the surface once you dive into it. But if you did all enjoy the video, you can like it and let me know, because it helps out the channel a lot and lets me know you do enjoy this sort of video. This is something I've never done before, like a story time, telling you about something that was a huge adventure. But if you want to watch all of the... Oh, if you want to watch all of the original streams, clips, and the original preparation video, then you can of course do so by checking in the description down below, because that's where you'll find this. Also, third person has a weird thing where if you jump in front of a block, it looks like this. So look, I can do a close-up where it's like, if you want to see those videos, then make sure you click that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe with notifications turned on. IBX Toycat. But no, thank you very much for watching. I hope you did enjoy this, and I hope you want to see some more insane projects, because let's just say this desert is going to be at the forefront of one of the next big ones I'm going to be showing off on this channel, because a lot of people are enjoying the, you know, the big survival project stuff, and I'm still having fun with it. So yeah, this big desert destruction is going to feature in the next huge project video, which I look forward to showing to you all some point soon. Yeah, if you want to see that, then again, subscribe. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye. I'm so glad that's my sword I had out. I had no idea.